Qatar Airways has repeatedly been named the world's best airline, but since the beginning of the pandemic, lots of airlines reduced the service they offer. So I'm curious to see what Qatar Airways is like nowadays, especially on such a long trip from the US West Coast to the Middle East. Alright, 15 hours to Doha. I'm very excited to see what Qatar Airways is like. And if you want to follow our flights along live as they happen, do not forget to follow us on Instagram for live stories of every single flight that we take. If you want to hear me talk about what airlines I love or what airlines are currently really annoying me, do follow me on Twitter. And if you want to support our work, then please consider becoming a channel member. It's kind of like Patreon, just that it's right here on YouTube. And this gives us the possibility to jump right into the video and not have to annoy you with a weird VPN sponsorship right now. So let's head to LAX and let's fly to the Middle East. One thing I hadn't realized at that point yet is that I got my COVID PCR test to be able to enter Dubai completely wrong. I thought it needed to be done 72 hours before departure, but it actually meant the departure of the flight to Dubai, not the first one of my journey. So my test wasn't new enough, and they told me I wasn't able to check in for my flight unless I had a new one, and at LAX there were only tests available anymore, which take 3 to 5 hours to be ready. Now that meant that I missed my flight to Doha. But Qatar Airways, or rather their fantastic station manager in Los Angeles, saved my day by rebooking me on the later flight out of LAX. Yes, there are 2 daily flights on Qatar Airways out of LAX. And they did that at no additional cost. They didn't have to do that because I was the one who messed up. But they did it anyway, and I'm extremely grateful for their help in this situation, and I just needed to underline that. Because of my mistake, I also checked in unusually late, meaning by the time I got to the gate, boarding was already underway. Our flight to Doha will be operated by this 2019 built Airbus A350-1000, registered A7ANJ. Thank you. All of Qatar Airways A350-1000s feature the new Q Suite business class product. If you want to know what that is like, please check out the video by fellow air travel blogger Vicarious Voyager, who did an in-depth review about the Q Suite from Montreal to Doha. This plane has neither a first class nor a premium economy, so we are in the only other part of the plane, regular economy class, which features a 333 configuration. My seat on this 15-hour flight is 46A, and since economy class isn't full today, I even got the whole row to myself. I was among the last to board, so we pushed back right away, but before we take off, let me show you the seats. Legroom is okay, it's totally fine, but nothing overly noteworthy. There's also a seatback pocket with these additional super useful smaller pockets, and then you have a tray table, which can be used half opened or fully opened. Right above it, you'll find your personal universal power outlet and an NFC reader, which I do not know what it's for. Right beneath the entertainment screen, you'll find the audio port and a USB port to charge smaller devices. Coat hooks are available as well. The headrests are vertically adjustable and can also be adjusted like this. A complimentary pair of headphones was already waiting on my seat, as well as what appears like a little Amenity kit and a Hygiene kit, but more on that once we're airborne. One thing I particularly love about the A350s are the onboard cameras. Alright, let's take a brief look at the hygiene kit. Inside you'll find a fresh face mask, a pair of latex gloves, and some hand sanitizer. Very useful in this day and age. The Amenity kit came with a pair of socks, some earplugs, a toothbrush and toothpaste, some eye shades, and some lip balm. Again, something that I highly appreciate to have in economy class, and certainly something I would have expected from the world's best airline. Here's a little frequent flyer tip for you guys. Use the plastic bag your blanket came in as a trash bag. That way, you can keep your seat clean and help out the ground staff a lot. Dinner service started with a beverage and a small salty snack. I went with a beer, which I really needed after all that self-caused stress I had at the airport, and it came with a pack of rice crackers. For the main meal, you can choose between 3 different options, which I highly appreciate. I went with a kadai paneer served with white rice and dal makhani. The other choices would have been chicken majbouz and beef cottage pie. It was served alongside some yogurt and fresh fruit, which I believe was a mistake, as this appears to be the tray for breakfast and not dinner. So let's see if our breakfast will come with our dinner sides later on. Some warm garlic bread was provided too, as well as a small bottle of water. Qatar Airways provides metal cutlery in economy class. It's a small thing, but it really does elevate the experience in my opinion. Oh, and the dish itself was absolutely delicious. After dinner, the crew handed out tea and coffee, which was served with Austrian candy. I am Austrian, and you'll understand how surprised I was to see something produced just a few kilometers from where I live on a flight from the United States to Qatar. Mannerschnitten, as they're called, are fantastic, and if you ever come across some, give them a try. The LED cabin lighting gave the whole cabin a very cozy feeling, which made it easy for me to get some sleep. Well, that and the fact I got a whole row to myself. Qatar Airways offers an excellent in-flight entertainment system with plenty of movies and TV shows from all around the world. The sun rose again shortly after Greenland. A snack bar was set up in the rear galley, where you could grab snacks and some bottled water and other beverages all throughout the flight. A warm mid-flight snack was also provided, where you could choose between 2 warm savory pastries, one with meat and one vegetarian. Wi-Fi was also available for purchase on this flight. A couple of hours later, somewhere over Turkey, it was time for the second hot meal. This time, it was more like a breakfast. I went for the chicken with danieli sauce, yellow rice and veggies, but the other choices included a mushroom omelette and medu vada, a fritter from southern India commonly eaten for breakfast. And now, this was served with chocolate mousse and quinoa salad, which was obviously intended for dinner. So my suspicion was right, but you know, those things can happen. Again, the meal came with warm garlic bread and a bottle of water. 15 hours, plenty of delicious food, good night's sleep, and a fantastic crew later, we arrived in Doha, where I had a 7-hour layover.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Doha, the state of Qatar, your gateway to the world. And now local time is 6:20 p.m. For your...
Thank you.
Have a pleasant day.
Thank
Bye.
you, you too. Thanks to my frequent flyer status, I was able to go to the lounge. Now, Qatar Airways has a rather complicated system of who can visit which lounge. Usually, frequent flyers and passengers on paid business class tickets are in 2 different lounges, with the latter enjoying a significantly better one. But because of the pandemic, Qatar Airways seems to have consolidated all passengers into the higher quality lounge, which was admittedly very impressive. I used my time there to have dinner in the a la carte restaurant, free of charge of course because it's a lounge, and I had some sushi, followed by these vegan tortellini with baby leeks, purple cauliflower, kale, zucchini, roasted carrots, and grilled red peppers. I mean, the food offering in this lounge was just beyond impressive. Unfortunately, my time there passed very quickly, and it was time to catch my onboard flight to Dubai. This time operated by A350-1000, a 2012 built Boeing 787-8. The Dreamliner also features a 333 configuration in economy class. Even though the flight is just slightly more than an hour, a pillow and another hygiene kit were provided. Universal power outlets can be found beneath the seats, and the USB ports are available under the screen. Despite the short flight time, a snack service was offered. An Arabic meze served with warm bread. Exactly the right size for this flight. Not so big that you need to rush to finish it, but also not too small. You can clearly see that Qatar Airways put some thought into this, and you know, how to make it quick and simple, but also high quality and tasty. And somehow I have more appreciation for this because the flight is so short than for any of the meals on the previous flight. And here we are, we have finally made it to Dubai after all. All right, here we are. We have finally made it to Dubai. 16 hours to Doha, 6 hours on the ground in Doha, and then another 1 hour flight to Dubai. And overall, Qatar Airways is a superb airline. There is no other way to put it. Was it perfect though? No, it wasn't. But it's really hard to say whether that's because Qatar Airways has reduced their service permanently or whether those are just slight changes because of the pandemic. So to be fair, like the three things that came to mind, the missing hot towel, which I've had on a couple of good airlines before, and you know, you would expect that from the world's best airline as well. That one wasn't provided. The meal trays could have been a little bit more diverse. Some airlines, they put cheese and crackers on there as well, which is something that I always enjoy. It's okay if that's not there. I mean, the meals were still fantastic. 3 different kind of meals were available to choose from. The quality was amazing. They tasted good. You had 2 hot meals on this flight and a hot snack in between, so that was great. Especially when I think about the Etihad flight I did from Los Angeles to Abu Dhabi, where I got significantly less food than that. And the third thing was the menu cards, but that's really just because of the pandemic, and it's totally fine to use it through the Wi-Fi of the aircraft. So overall, it was a great flight, superb crew, super friendly. I talked with them a lot during the flight. So I would not hesitate to fly Qatar Airways again. If you have a frequent flyer status with oneworld or Qatar Airways, make sure you plan a long layover in Doha because the lounge there is absolutely fantastic. And with that, thank you so much for watching. My flight to Istanbul boards in 15 minutes because I'm actually shooting the Qatar Airways episode and the Turkish Airlines episode that's coming up next, back to back, because A, I'm a little bit crazy, and B, I'm doing all of this for you. So if you consider supporting us by becoming a channel member on our channel, we would really appreciate this. Our lowest tier starts at just 24 euros a year, and those 24 euros might be exactly what we need to pay for that 1 extra seat reservation to get the best view possible. If you don't decide to support us on YouTube, please just consider following us on Instagram if you want to come along our flights live as they happen, because we post a story of every single one of them, as well as follow me on Twitter if you want to hear me rant about airlines that piss me off. So with that, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next week for the Turkish Airlines episode.